Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and today what we're going to make is a waterfall journal. Now we're going to start it. We may not get it finished, but you know that I was going to make a journal out of this paper, and this is let me look. This is the Belle Fleur. I can't see if we have any more of this left, but I think we do. If we do, I'll link it below. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the floral and the greenery and the vines and just everything about it. But I thought I wanted to make a journal a little bit different, so what we're going to do is make a waterfall journal. Now my waterfall is going to go this way, not this way. So it's going to be a side opening. And I have just torn out some 12 by 12 pieces here. And what we're going to do is cut these down. I don't want it to be any taller than 8.5, so we're going to cut these down to 8.5. Now I will probably speed this part up because you guys know how to cut your paper. Just make sure that when you cut your paper that your orientation is going this way. So then you want to put it in your trimmer like this. This is the top, this is the bottom. I'm going to cut part of this off or part of this off. Just make sure that you're not cutting it sideways. Okay, so and I have to remind myself of this many times, and don't throw these away. These are going to be tags and pockets and things. But see, that's your orientation. This is the top and this is the bottom. So my journal would be like that. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and cut these, and I don't know how many sheets I've got, probably 8 or 10 maybe. I just tore out a few of the different ones that I really wanted to include in this. And then we'll come back and I'll start showing you how to do your folding to make the waterfall journal. Alright, we have all of these cut to 8.5 inches tall, and they're 12 inches wide. So the first page, and you need to decide how your pages are going to go together, because that's going to make a big difference. You have to decide that first on a waterfall journal. So let's see, I think I want this to be my first page, and maybe this one my second, that one, and both sides of this paper are so pretty. It's hard for me to make up my mind. Let's see, that one. Let's move this one. I don't want two browns right together, so let's move this one right in there. There we go. Now, like I said, this is going to be very important. They have to stay in this order, so make sure you do that first. Okay, now you're not going to start with your front page. You're going to start with your back page. So on this one, and you can use your score tool if you want. On this one, I'm just going to fold it over because it's going to fold in half, right down the middle. So just fold it where you have a 6-inch page. So it's 6 by 8.5. That's going to be the back sheet. Okay, and then go to the next sheet, this one. Now we want this one, the top part, to come about a 1/2 inch shorter than this. So what we're going to do here is you want to score this one, and you may have to trim it off a little bit. That's okay. I think I'll go ahead and trim this. I think I'll trim it at, let's see, do I want a 1/2 inch? You just decide how much room you want between here. I may want a little bit more because I'm going to put some lace on these. All right, I want this piece to be 1 inch shorter than this piece. So when I fold that around, it'll be like that. So that means I'm going to cut this off 1 inch. And you can cut either side, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to trim it off like this. So trim this down 1 inch. So that means this one will actually be 8.5 by 11. Save those pieces, we're going to use those too. So let me set this aside because we're going to be using our trimmer lots in here. Okay, go ahead and fold this one in the middle. And then when you put this one in here, you can see you've got the start of your waterfall. And this is going to be a 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch back here. Now, if you wanted this to be the full inch between these two, the ends of these two, then you could have folded it a little bit off center. But I think that's going to be good for me. Just decide which way you want it to look. Like on this one, I'm going to cut 2 inches off. Okay. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I know it's hard. It's harder to explain than it is just to do. Now, if I wanted this one to be a full inch, like that, shorter than this one, then I wouldn't fold it in the middle. I'd fold it a little bit off, or you could just hold it up. If you can pick them up, like I can't, you could just hold it up and do it that way and fold it like that. But I'm going to continue with mine just being a 1/2 inch on each side. That's okie dokie with me. Okay, so we folded that one in the middle. And when we get to that front one, it's gonna be pretty short, but that's okay because I'll show you some things that we're gonna do to the front. All right, and then on this one, we're gonna cut 3 inches off. Okay, another great tag. Don't throw any away. So 3 inches, and then again, we're gonna fold it in the middle. And like I said, use your scoreboard if you want to. Just gonna freehand fold it. Hopefully it will be straight-ish. All right, and you see, we've still got that waterfall going. Okay, on this one, we're gonna cut 4 inches off. And these papers are not real thick. They're thick enough, but they're probably like maybe a 32-pound cardstock. So they're not extraordinarily thick, but they'll work great for something like this. They work great for your journal pages. So it's still a good quality paper. It's just not too thick. Ooh, that's looking pretty. I like that. Now, I may not be able to do all of mine. Let's see. All of the pages that I tore out, that is. I think I want that one next. Yeah. So you just kind of look at them. So this one, what are we going to do? We're going to cut 5 inches off of it. So let's get this out. And you could cut them all at once. I'm just kind of going this way so that I can show you guys what we're doing. And remember, keep all of those scraps. We're not going to throw any of those scraps away. Ooh, I like that side too. I think I want a little bit of that light color in there. And if you wanted to make a journal that was a lot wider this way, you could do that too. You could just not cut. You could just fold everything a little bit differently. But see, we're going to have the same on the front and the back. So let's see. I think I want that one next. And then I'll do my front one. That'll give us plenty of pages. So this one we're going to cut 6 inches off of. So that means that one gets cut in half. Still a good page there. And then this one, we're going to cut 7 off of it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. This side, there we go. Okay, let's fold these. Oh, I love how that's looking. And then this last one, our front cover, or our front page, not necessarily our cover. We're going to do something different for the cover. And let me straighten this up a little bit. That one I did faux crooked. Or either I cut it crooked. Which one did I do? Oh, I think it's pretty good. It's good enough. And there we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. Then we've got front and back, so we've got 16, 32 pages in this journal. And I love that for the center. Isn't that beautiful? All right, now all we're going to do now is we're going to reinforce this score line right here a little bit. Now that's the beginning of our cascading journal. We are going to cover this, as I said, but for right now I'm going to leave it. Now you can go ahead and round these corners. That makes it very pretty too. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to round mine. I think I'm going to leave them squared off. You can also do some decorative edge punching on here. That makes it really pretty. Lots of different things that you can do to this. But I think for now, I'm going to just clip mine, leave it together, and we'll start working on some other things to go on the inside of it. Now, as I said, you've got lots of scraps here for tags and pockets, so don't throw any of those away. Now also, when you're making your ephemera for this one, be aware of the different sizes of your pages. So you know, you couldn't make a wide pocket for this one, say, because it's going to be a narrow page, but you could make a wider one for this one. So just be aware of your different sizes of your pages. And see, that piece that I cut off of that one up there is going to work perfectly on here for a pocket. Okay, I'm going to pull some pages out, and I'm just going to go through, and I think this one, I'll make this into a pocket. Since it's the correct width, all I have to do is just trim off a little bit at the bottom. We'll make that into a cute little pocket. And we'll do as much as we can do on this today without the video being too long, and then we may have to finish everything up tomorrow. I think I like that white side because it goes with these little white flowers up here. I think I'm going to use my oval punch to punch my little pulls on here. And let's see, let's grab a green ink. I tell you, I think we'll just use old paper. That has a green tint to it, so I think it'll look best on here. Yeah, I like how that looks. Maybe you can see it. It's very, very bright here today. But it's just a green tint with just a little bit of brown hue in there. So old paper is a pretty one to ink with. Yeah, that's going to look good. And I can go around my pages if I need to later. Don't have to do that right now. Lay these out so you can flatten them out any way that you need to. Just you'll know when you start putting them back together if you've got them in the right order or not, because they won't cascade anymore. So that pocket there. And we'll make some tags and things. I think on this one we'll do some of this brown, just to bring that brown out and knock that white back just a little bit. So we'll cut that off. I'm going to use up as many of my scraps as I possibly can. We'll do maybe clusters and tags and corner tucks and different things on here to just use up all of the scraps we can. I think I want to put one more big pocket back here on this one. So let's find a good sheet here. Like I said, I've got plenty of them, so I'm thinking I might go with that one. Just put that one there. Okay. Trim that off right there. Okay, there we go with a pocket there. Let's go ahead and punch our pull in that. Do a little bit of inking, and you could always stitch around these pockets, do different things, and that would look really, really pretty. I'm thinking about stitching around my pages. I don't know, I've done one like that before and it looked really good, so I'm gonna have to see how well my sewing machine is treating me today. I worked on it a little bit the other day and I got it back in line, but you know, it may balk today, who knows. Now, there we go. So we've got that pocket in there. So I think that is all of the pockets like that I'm going to do. Now I am going to do some, I'm going to show you how to do some really quick and easy library pockets to go in here. So we'll do that. So let me clip that back together. And then we're going to come back and put some lace on those and do some different things to them. And it won't be long until those will be ready to go in our cover. Now the cover is a different story because I'm going to have to think about what kind of cover I want to put on there. So let's see. A library pocket. I think this will be the right width for a library pocket. This one and this one is 4.5. So that means this piece, if you've got a page that's 4.5, and you want to make a library pocket, you need to make this 5.5. It needs to be an inch wider. And then for the height, you can, let's see, I want my finished pocket to be, say, 4. And then you have to have that top part of the library pocket, which we're going to do about 3. So let's do 7 inches on here. So we're going to cut this at 5.5 by 7 or 7 by 5.5, whichever one you want to do. Okay, and that will make another one, just a shorter one, so keep that. Okay, now in order to make your library pocket, all you need to do is score at 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on this side, and then I'm going to score at 3 inches. Now let's see. Let me think about this. How far do I want that to come up? Okay, I want it to fold up that way because I want my flower to be the right way up. So let's try about right there. And I'm just marking it and then I'll tell you. Okay, looks like I am going to score it at 4.5 that way. So you've got 1/2 inch on each side, and then put it back in with the bottom side up this way. So there's my top, and then score it at 4.5. And you can just kind of, like I did, fold it around and look and see which way you want your orientation to go. Okay, fold all of this. Okay, now we want this side to be out. You could fold it either way, but you know, you fold it that way, that would be, ooh, I don't know. Now I want that. Which page is it going on? Let's look at it on the page. So I think it's going on this page. So I think the white side's going to be the best. Yeah, I think the white side will be the best. So what you're going to do here is you're going to clip off these little corners right there and right there, and all I'm doing is clipping right up to that score line. Then down here where the score line goes across, you're going to go up at an angle, and then you're going to cut on the inside of that score line just as straight as you can. And if you need to put it back in your trimmer to do that, you can. Same thing over here on the inside of that score line, and then angle a little bit there. These are quick and easy library pockets. Look at that. That's the way it's going to fold around, just like that. And when you start to fold it around, you can tell if you've got everything cut right. You may have to trim a little bit more off of these if you didn't cut enough. but I think that's going to be good. And I'm going to round these corners a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's fold that around and just put our glue there. So whatever size pocket you need, library pocket, cut it whatever size library pocket you need, cut it 1 inch wider, and then score it at 1/2 inch on both sides. That will be your fold around. And then just ever how much you want to fold up. I folded up 3 1/2, I think. Let's see. No, I folded up 2 5/8, but depending on how tall yours are, yours might be a little bit taller than mine. But see, that's going to work perfectly right there. I love that. Let's go ahead and ink it. Inking it makes it stand out a little bit more away from the page, plus it covers up any imperfections that you might have done in your cutting. Now, you can also put a little pull in this, so let's go ahead and do that. I could have done that before, but I didn't. So we're just going to slide that in a little ways. Yes, I like that. So that is going to go right there, and then we'll make some things to go on the inside of it. And I'm going to leave the top of this open. That way I can always come back and put something in behind it, like another tag or some ephemera, something like that. So there is our library pocket on there. Isn't that pretty? I love that. And see, we're starting to fill up already. And the way we will stitch this in is just like normal. We will put holes here and stitch it in that way. Now, another thing that you can do, if you want to break up all of this pattern paper, you can go ahead and put some sheets of coffee dyed paper in between here. Just don't let them run out. Just, you know, like if I put one here, I would cut it off, say right there, a little bit short, just so that it doesn't show on this side. I got some really pretty coffee dyed paper from Triple V Vintage. You know, I told you that the package that she sent me while we were away and we had our flood, it got wet and all of the patterns got destroyed. So what I did was I went on her site and ordered a bunch, because she's so sweet to send them to me that I could not order some of those from her, because she does such a good job. And look at these, and they're made with such a good quality paper. All right, let's say I'm going to put a piece of coffee dyed paper right in here. And a lot of people will want to do this, I'm sure, because you want to break up some of that pattern paper, and that's fine. No problem. All right, so I would fold it about there. That way, when I put this back on, see, it's not going to show, but yet I'm going to have an extra page in here. So you can add coffee dyed paper, you can add book pages, different things to this, and I probably will. Okay, we're going to make sure that's nice. And so you guys go over to Triple V Vintage Veronica and purchase some of her papers, because they are gorgeous, and I'm telling you, they're gorgeous. Okay, I thought about folding that in, but it'd be too much to fold for another pocket or for a side tuck. So what we're going to do is fold this in. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this one. Let me make sure that I'm getting it folded as straight as possible. No perfection, just as straight as I can. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Now, this is, you know, here's my fold, so I can't do a side tuck that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line right across there. And I think 4 inches will be enough. Okay, let's see. I think I'll just do this with my knife. Instead of putting it in my trimmer, I think I'll do it with my knife. Yeah, 4 inches. So we're going to put this right on that line. Right there. Just going to start at that fold. Cut that out. So we cut a little flap out of that. Like that. There will be our pocket. Already made for us. And boy, that looks crooked. It's a little bit crooked, so we'll go in here and try to straighten it some with my scissors. I think I went up a little bit, so let's just straighten it up. Now, that's much better. And then we'll just glue here, and we've automatically got a pocket. But we're going to put a little pull in here. Oh, I should have put a piece of paper behind it. So how are you guys doing today? What's everybody doing? It's so pretty here. It's nice, sunny, warm, beautiful day. But I know some of you got snow and everything over the weekend. Let me know how you're doing if you're buried in the snow. I'm glad all of that is gone around here, which we don't get a lot anyway, but I just don't like cold weather. I'm not a cold weather person. Alright, that'll go that way. And then you could, if you wanted to, fold this one around this way and have a little top tuck. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to trim that part off. But you could. Well, definitely. Trim this part off and I'll use that somewhere else. Let's see if I can trim it without messing up. So that's a good piece to use somewhere else. So there you go. You've got another page insert with a pocket. Let's go ahead and glue that pocket down. I just love the smell of these and the texture and everything about them. Love it. Okay, now let's put this in here. So let's just put it right there. Is that where we was going to put it, I think, maybe? And then, see, that will go that way. You can't see it in our cascading part, but when you flip these open, you've got another page in there that kind of breaks all of that up. So I think we might put another one right here. Let's grab another piece. This one is beautiful. All of them are beautiful, but let's do this one. So we want that too. And this is the easiest way I know of. Instead of having to measure everything, I just kind of lay it on there and guesstimate where I want to fold it. Just so that when we fold that over, that it doesn't show up in the front. And you could let it show if you wanted to. Some people may want it to show, and that's fine. I just didn't want it to break up my cascading because I am going to put some ribbon and lace on there. So now this one will actually work for a fold over, I do believe. Yes. So let's go ahead and fold that over. It'll be a little side tuck. Be just the right size for a side tuck. I don't know how Veronica does it, but her papers are gorgeous. Okay. And I love that sound. I don't know. To me, that's ASMR right there. That and cutting paper. It's the best ASMR there is. And some of you may not know what that is. Just look up ASMR on here. Some of it is really, really silly. But I just love the sound of that paper. And see, that one, like that. And then when you flip on back here, you've got this one, and we're gonna do a side tuck on this. Let's see, let's go ahead and put a little pull in here. I found these the other day. I don't really know what they are, but let me know what I can do with those. Give me some ideas. I think they're like 4x6 cards. Maybe? No, they're not 4x6. I'll tell you what size they are in a minute. Maybe you'll have some ideas for me. I found them in my stash. Don't know where they come from. Don't know how long I've had them or what. But I just thought they'd be good to use for something. They're actually almost 3x4. So I'm thinking they were probably a Project Life something or other that I got in maybe a Happy Mail, or I don't know. But I need some ideas of what to do. I know I could make some little journal cards and things like that out of them. But give me more ideas. What you would do if you had all of those. Got a whole stack of them. Okay. Oh, I'm loving how thick and nice this is getting. Yeah, there we got that page in there. And doesn't that go good with all of that? And then that one. And that did not glue down. Why did you not glue down? Okay, now it did. Have to force it. Let it know who's boss. Okay, so that is the beginning. I'll show you some of the other papers from Veronica. Lordy mercy, Veronica. Couldn't say your name. This one's called Flower Patch, and I'm not going to pull each one out, but they're all made with beautiful doilies and different styles on there. This one is called Rounded Corners. Love all the circles and all of that on there. This one's called Colored Lace, and it's got a couple of different colors in it. No, 3 different colors looks like. And then this one of my favorites, is called Variety Lace, and it's got some different beautiful lace patterns on here. And then this one that we're using was called Art Nouveau, and it's just, you know, all of them are different. I mean, they're gorgeous. See, I could listen to that all day long. And she also sent with my order a thank you, beautiful thank you card. Well, I think this is actually a little clip. Yeah. And then she sent some pieces that she has in her shop. This is some different little cards, flashcards and different things that I can use in my journals as well. So she's a sweet, sweet person. You guys go over. I'm going to put her link below. So I want y'all to go over and show her some love and support, because she is a sweet, sweet person. And she's always willing to send me goodies along the way for me to show that she's got in her shop. And I just hate that the last one got ruined, but I am still using those papers. I'm still using them. All right, we're going to pick out some lace that I'm going to use on the edges of these, and I think I'm going to put lace on all of the edges. I went through all of my lace. Well, I'm not through going through my lace yet. I'm going through my lace, I should say. And I'm making up bags for sale because I don't need all the lace that I have. I do not need it. So I will have some bags up probably later on in the week for sale. They'll just be random bags of lace and little pieces of material and different things, but mostly lace. So I've got tons of lace, and I'm going to use some lace on each one of these little cascading parts. So I'm going to grab out some lace that will work with this, and then we'll do that, and we'll come back and make some tags, just do some different things to it, and get this little guy ready to go in its cover. I also need to see what cover I want to use for this. So I have the journal just opened up to the center, and I'm going to put some lace down through here. Now I've got this bag. It's just some scrap lace it had short pieces in it, and it was too many short pieces to really put on our little lace spools. So I just put them in here, and I'm going to use some of these on here. I've got my little bobbins full. I've got a lot of those, and I got them all full. But I'm still going through lace, so hang in there. I'll still have plenty of lace to go around. Let's see. I'm just going to look through here while my glue's coming down and find some other pieces that kind of go along with this. I think I might actually start up here. No, let's start back here because I've got a special one I want to put there. Now this is Fabri-Fix glue, or Fabri-Tac. It may be Fabri-Tac. I use both, so it may be Fabri-Tac. And it catches the glue real well, pretty quick, so don't have to struggle with it. And then I use my little tool here. These tools are good to press down glue, or they're good to put on paint or any kind of medium like that. So this is a very old lace. I've had it for a long, long time, and this is probably the last piece of it that I have. So basically what I'm doing is using up my small pieces in my journals lately. And then I have all the big pieces that I'm going to keep rolled around my spools. And I'll show you some of those in a minute. For those of you who don't know what our little bobbin spools are, I'll show you those. So those two, and then let's see. I could do that one there. Nope, don't want that one there. Oh, we could do this one. Just want to put some smaller ones on this because if I put them too large, I'm going to have to move everything and put them back up under there. And I think these little small pieces are going to look good. Now this one has the pocket on it, so I'm just going just a small little bead of glue down through there right at the edge. This one is a pretty old one too. Did I put that backwards? No. I started to say I put it backwards. This one actually had some rust on it because it had, when I got it in a pack of vintage lace, it had some old pins up against it. So it's got just a little bit of rust on there, which was fine with me. But it's just a tiny, tiny bit right there. Now let's see. Let's put one on here. This one has a pocket as well, so we'll put a little small one on there. Okay, we've got this little piece. It's like a little braided trim. It's pretty. Let's put that there. Or really, it's not braided. It's got a little, it's almost like it's got two layers of lace in there. It's real pretty. But this is all I have of it right here. Well, that one I didn't get too straight, did I? There we go. That'll work. So there is that. And then we've got this one. That could take a little bit larger. Be all right. This is another vintage piece. Usually the vintage pieces is the one I only have one or two little pieces left of because I use those a lot. So we'll probably get some lace put on here, and then we'll come back tomorrow or the next video. Don't know if it'll be tomorrow. I've got workers coming, so I don't know how much free time I'm going to have tomorrow. But we'll probably come back and do some other things on here, and then put this little guy together because it won't take a lot. Oh, I don't have enough of that brown. It'll take a lot to put it together and get it ready to go. I think I might actually put that cream right there. This one also has a pocket, so we're going to put just a tiny, tiny little bead down through here. It doesn't take much of this to hold it. So with our house saga, we're still kitchenless, floorless. We're still basically where we were when they took all the floors up. We're still waiting on them to get estimates and get somebody out here that wants to work. That's the main thing. people just don't want to work anymore. And I don't get that, because I love to work. I'm probably a little bit of a workaholic, and I would probably work a lot more if I wasn't so old. I run out of energy now. I used to go all the time and not ever run out of energy. Now I run out of energy real fast. But I don't understand people not wanting to work, because to me work is enjoyable. It's fun. It's relaxing. I mean, I relax when I work. And I know if you have real strenuous jobs, you may not be able to relax. And I've worked those strenuous jobs before too, so I know what we're talking about there. But I don't know. It's just, you just can't get people to do work anymore. They all want the money, but they don't want to work for it. That doesn't make sense to me. My dad always said, if you want to earn money, you have to work for it. It's not going to be given to you. And if it's going to be given to you, it's not worth having. Because somebody else earned it and they gave it to you. So that's not, to me, that's not my work. That's not me earning something. I mean, that was his philosophy. So he taught us, all of us kids, the value of working. We didn't get anything given to us. It was all you worked or you didn't get paid. And we didn't get any allowances or anything like that. I mean, that just wasn't, he said, you living under my roof is allowance enough. And me feeding and clothing you. So we didn't get any allowances or anything like that. And we worked right along with the best of them. And that was okay. I'm glad that he taught me that. Taught me a good lesson. Because I've never been afraid of work. Never been afraid of venturing out and doing something that I, might have been afraid to do years ago. I'm always just like, yeah, give it to me. I'll do it. I'm one of those that holds their hand up and then later goes, why did I volunteer for that? No. Oh, me. But anyway. I mean, how many of you were raised like that? Let me know in the comments below. Were you raised where you worked for everything that you had? Or was things kind of given to you? Let me know what kind of work ethics you grew up with. It may not be the same everywhere. That was just the way my dad was. We didn't have a lot of money. We were really, really poor. And we were raised, that you have to work. You don't want to work, then you don't eat. You don't eat, then you go to bed hungry. So, but I know not everybody was raised like I was. My husband wasn't. He was a very, let's see, what could I say? Sheltered child, maybe? He had anything that he wanted. He had any kind of food that he wanted. He didn't have to work. He did work. They had a big dairy farm, and so he did work on the dairy farm. But his mother gave him money right and left, so he was probably just a privileged, rich kid. Well, I say rich. I think they were rich. In my book, they were rich. But he didn't really have to work for his living. And his ethics on a lot of that is completely different from mine. Now, not to say that he doesn't work, because he always worked and provided for our family up until he got to the point where he couldn't work anymore when he was disabled. But he always worked and provided for us. But, it's just different people have different work ethics. And it's strange to think about it, but all of us do. But he never taught our girls. I mean, he kind of left that up to me, about they would want this or that, or want the new jeans or the new tennis shoes, and I'd go, well, okay, work for it. Here's some jobs that you can do. You can earn enough to buy those. You can save up. And, of course, they didn't want to do that. They wanted me just to hand over the money to him. And he did, too. He was like, oh, just go buy it. said, no, they need to know that you don't just get things given to you. You earn it. But that was not his way. He did not like that. He's like, just give it to them. That's just the difference in the raising, I guess. I'm glad of the, at the time I thought it was horrible the way I was raised. That we were so poor and we didn't have anything, and I never had any of the latest shoes and things like everybody else did. But now I appreciate it because I didn't worry about all that back then. I just, we had what we had, and that's the way it was. We didn't try to keep up with everybody else. I have no idea what got me off on that little tangent. But anyway, it's just curious to see how everybody was raised and how everybody was raised so differently. Alrighty, I think we're down to this one, and I probably didn't put them on the same, and that's fine. You don't have to. You can put them on differently. They don't have to have the same one because these pages are not going to show from front to back. Anyway, they're going to show different spots, so you don't have to line them up perfectly. Let's see. I think this is the right side for this one. It's hard to tell. This one is cute. It looks almost like a little wheels on there. I think it's so cute. And I know this is all I got left of this one too. Okay, all right. We have all of those pages done. How cute is that? Let me get it all lined back up again. Look at that. Is that not the cutest? I love it. And then there, it's the other side. Did I skip one? Yes, I did. I skipped that one. Well, we'll just fix that right now. Let's see. Got that and that. So maybe... yeah, we could put that one on. That'd be fine. Let's see. Yeah. Make sure I put it on the right side. So pull out those laces, get some paper out. You can do this with your regular digitals too. You don't have to have this paper. But if you've got some 12 by 12 paper that you want to use up, this is a good way to do it. Let's see. Let's make sure I didn't skip another one. No, I think I got all of them now. Now, isn't that cute? That is cute. I love it. Love, love, love it. And I can't wait to, I still haven't decided what kind of cover I want to put on there, but I will decide that. Can't wait to decide what cover I want to put on. And on some of these, I'm probably going to put a little bit of lace too. This one's going to be full of lace. I can guarantee you that. It's going to be jam-packed full of lace because I'm going to try to use most of these scraps that I have right here in this journal. And this is a very, very old piece too. I will probably use a little of that in there. Got some really old pieces there. So I think that's all I'm going to do on this today. I just don't want this video to be too long for you. But then I will decide off camera, I'll decide what kind of cover I want to put on here, if I even put a cover on it. You know, that right there to me is very pretty. I may not even put a cover on here. And if I do, it may just be a little short cover, kind of like a spine cover that maybe comes to right here just to stitch this to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I decide by morning. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you give this a try. And if you do, make sure that you share it over on our Facebook group. That link is directly below in the description. Now I've had lots and lots of people who say they can't find the description. If you are on a computer, just go down below the video and right before you start seeing comments, you'll see a little section where I have typed some things in, usually a description of what I'm doing. And there's a little button there that says show more. If you click on that button, all of the links and everything that I put in there will open up and you can see everything. If you're on an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android, I do believe they told me the Android's the same thing. Up in the right corner, when you're watching that video, right under the video, up in the right corner, there's a little arrow pointing down. If you'll click on that, it opens up and expands all of that information that I put below, because I try to put as much information down there as I possibly can, and usually I put all the links to the products that I'm using if I can find them. So make sure that you check that out, and you should be able to see all of our links, our store link, our Facebook groups, everything. Okay? All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.